the reputation of the head of state must be impeccable, for a variety of reasons. However, we are all human beings, and even those of us who become presidents remain susceptible to human weaknesses. Personally, I think that the main thing for the president is to manage the country entrusted to him wisely and conscientiously, and her personal life is personal because it is personal. But there are so many people and so many opinions. However, this is a topic of a completely different conversation. Therefore, let's not judge anyone and no one, but just listen to the stories about those people who reached the highest power in the country, but at the same time remained human, with all our weaknesses and shortcomings.
John Adams, the second President of the United States. Years of government, 1797 to 1801. The first U.S. presidential candidate to have a sex scandal used against his political reputation. This happened in 1800 when Adams was trying to lead the country for the second time. He was accused of sending his friend to Europe at government expense to find a suitable mistress for him. As a result, he failed to be re-elected for a new term.
Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Years of government, 1801 to 1809. It all started in France, where the state envoy Jefferson was credited with numerous connections with married Parisian women. In particular, with the famous musician and artist of that time, Maria Causeway. It was rumored that in Paris he had an intimate relationship with his 14-year-old black slave, Sally Hemings. The gossip was not unfounded. It turned out that the third President of the United States had children not only from his wife, but also from his domestic slave Sally, which, by the way, was confirmed by DNA analysis done by their descendants. During the presidential election campaign, competitors used the slogan, "Our wives and daughters should not become victims of legal prostitution," against Jefferson.
J. James Garfield, the 20th President of the United States. Years of government, 1881. The president's wife found love letters confirming that he had at least 2 mistresses, both of whom were good acquaintances of Mrs. Garfield. In addition, Garfield is credited with having an intimate relationship with an 18-year-old employee of the New York Times newspaper.
Grover Cleveland, the 22nd President of the United States. Years of government, 1885 to 1889. A sex scandal broke out in 1884 when, during a crowded rally, a woman claimed that Cleveland was the father of her child. The scandal was organized by the Republican Party, whose supporters immediately began chanting, "Mom, Mom, where's my dad?" However, very soon Grover Cleveland openly confirmed the fact of paternity, saying that he stumbled when he was mayor of New York. However, even despite the scandal, he was able to win the election.
Warren G. Harding, the 29th President of the United States. Years of government, 1921 to 1923. From 1905 until his election as president in 1920, he was in an intimate relationship with the wife of a close friend, Carey Phillips. When Harding began his presidential campaign, his former mistress demanded that he divorce his wife and she become First Lady. Since such a scandal could ruin his political career, the future president paid Mrs. Phillips a round sum for silence. The next passion of the president was the daughter of his friends, Nan Britton. The girl was 31 years younger than the president, but this did not prevent the development of their relationship. Passion captured both of them so much that they indulged in it even in the dressing room of the White House. A few years after the president's death, Britton published the book The President's Daughter, which became a bestseller. In the monograph, Britton stated that she gave birth to Harding's daughter. A DNA test done many years later confirmed Nan's claim.
Franklin Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Years of government 1933 to 1945. Franklin Roosevelt is credited with an intimate relationship with his secretaries Margarita Lehand and Grace Tully, a distant relative of Margaret Suckley, the Minister of Labor from his government Francis Perkins, the leader of the Democrats Molly Dewson, and even the Norwegian Princess Martha. The most famous mistress of the president was Lucy Mercer, who took care of the partially paralyzed president for many years. She repeatedly suggested that he divorce his wife and marry her, but Roosevelt did not go for it.
John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States. Years of government, 1961 to 1963. John F. Kennedy's name is associated with the names of Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield, Audrey Hepburn, Angie Dickinson. And this is not to mention the numerous interns and maids of the White House. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy knew about her husband's adventures, but she was adept at keeping a friendly, detached expression on her face. The story of one of the most striking actresses of the 20th century, Marilyn Monroe and American President John F. Kennedy, is rightfully considered the brightest love story of the last century. Until now, this topic worries historians and journalists, because it was not possible to find out for sure whether their affair was just an affair or something serious. It is known that Marilyn and John had some kind of connection in 1961 to 1962, but they never got into the lenses of the paparazzi. And this is surprising, because the press was constantly watching them. The politician really cheated on his wife with a Hollywood star. Monroe herself told her close friends about this. She also entrusted this secret to a massage therapist, who later became the cause of the information leak. All the speculation about their relationship in the press appeared after Monroe passed away.
Lyndon Johnson, the 36th President of the United States. Years of government 1963 to 1969. Johnson affectionately called his mistresses my harem for 30 years. He was in an intimate relationship with the wife of a famous publisher, Alice Glass. It is said that the 36th President of the United States wanted to leave his wife for a mistress, but the affair broke up for political reasons. Glass was against the Vietnam War and, in general, against the political activities of the head of the White House.
Bill Clinton, the 42nd President of the United States. Years of government, 1993 to 2001. The 42nd President became a participant in the most notorious sex scandal in modern history. Bill Clinton was convicted of cheating on his faithful during his tenure as president. And in the literal sense of the word, the president had an intimate relationship with a White House intern, including Monica Lewinsky, in the Oval Office of the White House. This relationship lasted for 2 years. But it was not possible to conceal the affair, and when it became publicly known, a real scandal began, which almost led to impeachment. Clinton lied under oath that he did not have an intimate relationship with Lewinsky. However, the girl had a trump card, but not in her sleeve, but on her dress. There are traces of dried semen of the president on it. After this scandal, Lewinsky became recognizable all over the world. Her face did not leave the covers of the tabloids for a long time. Yes, but hardly anyone would have wanted such popularity. It was a real harassment. She was accused of ruining Clinton's political career. The girl could not even go outside normally. She was followed by crowds of paparazzi and journalists. Bullying severely shook Lewinsky's psychological state. She fled the United States to the United Kingdom, where she studied at the London School of Economics and even wrote a dissertation.
Barack Obama is rightfully considered one of the most beloved leaders among Americans. But even he has a story that casts a shadow on his reputation as an exemplary family man. The 44th American president was having an affair with his assistant Vera Baker. The world became aware of this from an interview with Obama's driver, in which he said that Barack's affair with his assistant began in 2004 during the election campaign, and after his election as a senator, their relationship only became stronger. The lovers met in one of the Capitol's hotels. The driver's words were confirmed by video recordings from the hotel's surveillance cameras, although they were never shown publicly. Vera herself has firmly stated so far that she did not have an affair with Obama.
Well, there's still our old Donald. But to talk about it, you need a separate program. Therefore, if you are interested in this, then write in the comments, we will do it. And, in the meantime, you can go to the video that was before that, there is something about it.